Hello everyone and welcome to the very first episode of Bearing It All. My name is Ugochi Okorie and I am excited to be your host. Before I introduce Bearing It All, allow me to tell you a little about myself. I currently live in Aberdeen, Scotland with my husband and our 2 boys. I spend most of my time with my family taking care of the boys and taking care of our home. In the past, I have worked as an admin officer and I've also done some volunteering works which has provided me with the skills I now use. I also believe in continuous learning and so I'm still learning. I also have a prayer line, praywithugochiokorie@gmail.com. I would say I am funny, fun, and friendly. Funny because I get people around me to laugh a lot. Fun because there is never a dull moment with me. And friendly because I am everyone's friend, I think. On this very channel, I will be hosting a show called Bearing It All. Growing up, I have always wanted to have my own talk show, where I bring people in and get to interview them. I remember in the room I shared with my sisters, I would bring 2 chairs and put them in front of the standing mirror we had at the time. I'll put the 2 chairs and then I'll get my younger sister to sit in as my guest and me as the host, and I will ask her questions. Funny, right? I moved on from what I would call childish dreams. I moved on to more important things. But sometimes those things we call childish dreams, they are the purest and truest forms of dreams that we will ever have. Most times, God puts those things in us and we never ever get to really run away from them. Fast forward to November 2019, I remember it was a time of fasting and prayer in our church. And one of the prayer points that I had was for God to give me a direction and clarity on what to do next. I remember in the last days of the fast, God said to me, it was time for me to start my own talk show. And it will be a place to bear it all. Hence the title, Bearing It All. I was quiet for a while. I was so quiet with it. I wasn't sure I heard God, but I know that voice. I have heard that voice so many times, and so I knew it was God speaking. But I was still quiet with it, and so I continued praying and waiting on God for more confirmation. I've only hosted shows in my head with my younger sister in our bedroom. But I know that voice. I know that it was God speaking to me. But I was very scared. Scared of how do I go about it? What do I do? When? Where do I start from? All of this went through my head. But I held on to one thing. The very thing that God said to me the show was going to be about. It was going to be a platform where anyone would have a voice. A platform where anyone could be a light, could be hope to someone who has lost hope. It was going to be a safe place where men, women, boys and girls would tell their story, their pain, their loss, their love, their survival, their falling, and their rising. Bearing It All is a safe place for honest conversation. And here we are. Praise God. My heart found peace with the idea that God gave to me, and I started making plans to launch the show in April 2020. But COVID-19 lockdown happened, but that didn't stop me. I decided to pray more, also decided to do more research. I took a look at the people who are already hosting shows, both big and small, just to get more knowledge and to also expand that knowledge in what God has asked me to do. It's been a journey. I'm still learning. I'm not there yet, but it's been exciting and it's been amazing. Yes. Okay. Allow me to explain. As I thought about this show during the lockdown, I realized that a lot of show hosts do not really talk about themselves because they get to ask questions themselves. And I also realized that when it comes to bearing it all, it's easier for someone else to bear it all when they also know your own heart is open. And so for the next episode of Bearing It All, I will be here bearing it all as your host and also your guest. And I know someone is already looking forward to that. And please, if you may, would you drop us a comment on a time when you have heard from God and what you did with what you heard. Thank you and bye for now.